is Russ. Yeah, I'm back in the car again. What time is it? 9:17 a.m. The temperature of about 74 degrees. Not so bad out there. I'm not at my normal Costco. I'm coming out of the Mount Prospect Costco because across the street was the doctor's office. Figure after the doctor's thing, I gotta go get a slice of pizza, right? So I did. So why did I go to the doctor's? Well, I mentioned to you guys before that my ear was clogged up. Remember that? Yep, couldn't do it on my own. Too pushed in there. Don't use Q-tips. Doctor tells me this all the time, but of course, this is why I have the problem. Yeah, Q-tips will just kind of push everything in. You'll never get it out. So I put the Debrox in my ear. Of course, it was the Walgreens version, but you know, it's the same thing. I tried to use the syringe thing to kind of water it down, and no, couldn't get it out. So I said, okay, that's it. I'm going to have to go in. I got no option at this point. So I went in. First I called them up, and they said, well, nobody's available now, of course, because it was like 3 o'clock or so, 2:30, something like that. So they said, can you come in tomorrow and just do a walk-in? You don't need an appointment. So they have walk-in services between 7 and 11 a.m. I said, yeah, okay, no problem. You know, nothing's hurting or anything like that. It's just that you're clogged up. I couldn't hear. In fact, it was so bad. And this is typical because I've had this done, you know, many times in the past. I had to have them clear me out. You know, if you did, here, okay, listen to this. Can you hear that on the microphone? If I just took my fingers and just because of the ridges on the fingerprint, right, and just did this, I could hear it out of one ear. I could not hear any of that out of the right ear. Yeah, it was so clogged up, I lost all high frequency hearing. So anyway, I went in there, and doctor takes a look at the left ear. She goes, "Well, that one's clogged too." Apparently, it wasn't clogged as bad as the right ear, but she claimed that the left ear was totally clogged as well. So anyway, to me, the right ear was worse because I couldn't hear out of the right ear, but I could still hear some stuff out of the left. But apparently the left had issues too. So she says, okay. She says, first off, she says, stop using the Q-tips. They tell me this all the time, yet I still do it. Stupid. But anyway, she says, stop using the Q-tips. Okay, and next thing she says, use the Debrox every now and then, you know, just to kind of clear out what you might have. And if it clogs up, you know, of course, always come in. So let me show you what they use to clear me out. Now, if you take a look at it, it's just a squirt bottle with a long hose and a little tip on it, but it's a lot more powerful than what I did. Now, for hers, it squirts directly onto it, whereas the syringe ones that I bought from Walgreens just squirts around it. I think the ones that squirt around it is good for general maintenance, but if you're clogged up, she says there's no way that type of thing is ever going to get this thing out of here. So she was a little nervous. She says, this might take a while. It's pretty well in there. But I'll tell you this, when she started working on the right ear, after, I don't know, maybe 6 to 8 squirts, it was out. She was shocked how fast it came out. She goes, oh man, she goes, this is faster than I thought. So then she worked on the right, the left ear. After a couple of squirts, that came out too. So that was the fastest I ever had my ears cleaned out. Yeah. I mean, she was surprised herself. She goes, man, I thought this thing was going to be a while. No, came right out. Now here's what she told me. She says, typically, if you have this happen again, she says, put the Debrox in there for, you know, a couple times or a couple days, because that'll loosen it up. So then by the time they get to it, it'll come right out. Maybe that's why the right ear came out so quickly, because it had been Debroxed and I had been squirting water in it for a while. So it was kind of wet in there anyway. I didn't do the left ear. And the left ear even came out pretty quickly. Yeah, it's pretty gross. I mean, I know the procedure. I hold a little cup underneath, right? And then she squirts it, everything starts flowing down, and then it just comes right out. But like I told her, I said, I can't do that because first off, I don't have as powerful of a squirt thing as they do, and I said, and I can't see what I'm doing. She goes, that's right. I mean, she doesn't see it either. She just, just puts it in there and starts squirting and hope for the best. And then she looks at it. Well, she said that the right ear canal was a little inflamed, probably because I've been messing with it, She says it's all red in there. She says, so she gave me some antibiotics, and she says, just to be safe, let's give you some antibiotics and make sure that it's okay. She doesn't want you coming back, I guess. So what was the cost? I don't know. Yeah, when I checked out, they didn't give me a bill or anything. Now, that doesn't mean that they won't bill us. They may still send you a bill, in which case you have to pay for it. But they didn't have anything written down or anything for me. And so she says, okay, you're all done. And I says, really? Okay. So I left. So if they bill me, I'll let you know. But I'm all cleared up again. Well, the thing is, with this whole thing with the ear, like I said, it's not my first time. I think this is maybe the third or fourth time they've actually cleaned me out. But yeah, the Q-tips is the thing that really messes you up. Yeah, don't use Q-tips. But the thing is, when you do it, you kind of like, okay, yeah, there's clearing some stuff out. She says, better than that, do the Debrox every now and then. Because once you squirt the Debrox in there, it kind of like reacts to any earwax and kind of sizzles. You can hear it crackling in there. And according to the instructions, it just says that's oxygen being released as it's foaming up, right? Well, after I did it, the first time you could hear it real good, hear it crackling. Then after a couple more times I did it, I couldn't hear it. So maybe it was already eating away all the stuff that's around it, but it couldn't get deep into the one that was really clogging it all up. So she says if you debrox every now and then, chances are it won't be so bad where it actually will clog in like that. And she says, definitely don't use the Q-tips. I'll learn my lesson. I keep doing this. So anyway, that is that. Now that I'm all cleared up for today, I'm going to go out and do the review of the e-bike that I was going to do yesterday, but I just didn't feel like it would be a good idea to do it being on the bike while half of my side of my ear, I couldn't hear anything. I was I was almost like totally deaf out of the right ear. You can hear low frequencies will go through there, but any high frequencies, so it's gone. Yeah, something as simple as this. Hear that? I couldn't hear any of that. I couldn't hear that at all out of this ear. I could hear it out of this one, but not out of this one. So, hey, there you go. Let me know in the comments below if you hadn't done it on the last one. Have you had any of this type of problem with your ears before? And have you gone to a doctor to have your ears cleared out? Now, I talked to my friend who is also Chinese. He's had it done before many times in the past too. And he said to me, he goes, you ever notice that after they do it, you got like super hearing? I go, yeah. It does sound like you have super hearing because you couldn't hear it all before, and then when they clear it out, you hear everything you hear now, right? So I knew it was going bad. They actually asked me, how long has this been happening? I says, well, for a couple of weeks. I can kind of tell it was heading in that direction. Yeah, and then it just totally clogged up yesterday. So I says, well, okay, that's it. I'm going to have to come in. Now, here's why it's important, because I told you guys, I play music at church. We wear these in-ear monitors, okay? You guys ever seen these things before? This is essentially like the earbuds that we listen to, right? These things wrap around your ear, so it kind of fits in there and goes behind you, and then the cable goes behind you. So otherwise you have a cable in front of you, and if you're playing guitar and stuff, it's not good. So these are designed to wrap around your ear and goes behind. And a lot of times people can't even tell you're wearing this because they don't see the cable running in front of you. Well, if you're using this, these are made by Shure, okay? These foam things basically seal you off from the rest of the world. So the only thing you hear then is the monitor mix coming out of your earbuds. And the reason musicians wear that is because we have a click track. And what a click track is in the ear. First off, the sound engineer can actually talk to us from remotely because they're in the back, right? They're in the back of the room. And they could talk to us and tell us what's going on. And then also the click track will count things off for you. So, whereas many songs start, a lot of times you saw at concerts where the drummer will take his sticks and click, 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 so we know what the tempo is and play. Well, that comes through your ear. The drummer doesn't have to do that. So there's a click track that just goes, and it counts it off. It'll say 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we're all in at that point. So it clicks off for you. So you constantly hear it clicking. So you're always on tempo, right? And then if there's any type of backing track that the group will use, you'll hear that coming through too. A backing track is like extra instruments. We talked about this on a previous video. Extra instruments that are played along with you when you're playing live. Like I said, if they needed like a whole string ensemble and you don't have strings playing live, that'll play along with you while you're playing so that the people in the audience will hear that, okay? But we have extra stuff that we can hear in our ears that way with the in-ear monitors. So, and we can control how loud we want each instrument to sound like when we're playing so that we can play better. So the whole point is this: if you're wearing those in-ear monitors and you can't hear anything out of the ear because like the high frequency pitches, I would be thrown off left all over the place. I wouldn't have a clue what's going on, whereas everybody else is. I mean, you do have this ear, but she said that was clogged too. And it was, because I could see the thing that came out. It wasn't as bad. It wasn't totally clogged up that made me lose all my high frequencies. This ear totally clogged up. I couldn't hear anything out of there. So that's why I needed to do it. Today is a Thursday as I'm talking to you, because on Sunday I'm playing the lead electric guitar at church. So I had to have it done at least before Sunday. Otherwise, I may have tried to keep messing with it. But she told me, she says, even those squirt things, she says, Dad's not going to get this one. It's too far in there. I figured that was the case. Don't use the Q-tips. She emphasized that so many times. Don't use those Q-tips. I mean, they see it all the time. It's nothing new to them. But this is the reason why it's always clogged up for everybody, is because the Q-tips, I mean, they clean out the edges around there, but it keeps pushing it in, is what she's saying, And the doctors have always told me that. Not that I listen. Still do it, and this is what happens. She goes, don't do that. She says, do the Brox every now and then, because you know that you have the earwax problem. So she says, do it every now and then use the squirt thing to clear it out, And then hopefully that won't do it. But she says if it gets to the point where it's like this again, then of course you have to come in. You have no option. She says you're never going to be able to clear it out yourself. You need more power. Yeah, well, I don't know. They probably sell those things. But she's doing it so hard. I mean, I can hear it. It's just the water's being pumped in there. And you do hurt a little bit when they do that, because she's squirting directly on it, I think. And if you don't do it right, or if you don't notice that it cleared out already and you're still squirting, you'll be hitting your eardrum, and that's not good. So you got to be real careful. So yeah, you have to have someone do it. I mean, as much as you would like to save the money on your own, to do it on your own, because I know what they do. I mean, I see it. I know exactly what they're gonna do. It's not safe for you to do it yourself with that power of a squirt. That's what I'm saying. So I'm telling you, don't do it on your own. Go in and let them do it. It's not worth risking your eardrum. So I kind of thought about this too, and I said, as a musician, if I lost my hearing, I would really feel like I'm really missing out at that point, because I think, between losing my eyesight and losing my hearing, I kept thinking, what would be worse for me? I don't know. Music and everything has always been such a big thing for me that I kind of feel like if I lost my hearing, I would really feel like I'm really missing out on things, right? The thing is, my friend Doyle Dykes, I've mentioned him many times. He's a professional musician, very well-known professional musician, mostly in the, I guess, country and bluegrass type genre, He's from Jacksonville, Florida, in case you don't know. That's where he's originally from. So, he's got the southern accent and everything going on. Everybody in Nashville and everything knows him, all right? So anyway, Doyle actually, I don't know if he's totally deaf in one ear now, or he has a very low amount of hearing on one of his ears. Yeah, he had some special thing happen to him many years ago. I remember when it happened, we all felt really bad about it. And I'll tell you, that guy, his faith is so strong. He never complained that he was losing his hearing. And as a professional musician, it's a huge thing not to be able to hear out of one ear. But the guy can play guitar like there's no tomorrow. I mean, he is an incredible fingerstyle guitarist. Very well known for those who are into fingerstyle playing. He's never complained once, but I know he can't hear out of the one ear, because if I'm talking to him, I go, "Hey Doyle," and I'm talking to him, he'll go, "What?" And a couple of times, I don't know, yeah, it was his son-in-law. He said, "Russ, he can't hear out of that ear." Oh, I said, "Okay, let me move to the other side and tell him." He can't hear. Yeah. So he'll turn his head, in a certain direction to hear you. When he's playing, of course, things are amplified. Sometimes he's using an electric guitar or something. He's got an electric guitar amp. He'll make sure that guitar amp is on the side where he can hear. You don't want to put the amp on the side where he can't hear, right? And other times it goes through a PA system. He might not have that, luxury of that. But yeah, losing a hearing would be tough, I think. It would be really difficult, but he's never complained. Yeah. Incredible guy. Now, if I lost my sight, how would I feel about that? I wouldn't feel that good about that either. Yeah. I don't know which one's worse, but either one is terrible as far as I'm concerned. All right, I'm going to let the crossing guard guy go. But anyway, just wanted to at least mention that. All right, anyways, that's all I have for you guys for today. Thanks for helping me out and letting me talk while I'm driving. If you like the video, and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already done so. I'll talk to you guys next time.